big issues. From climate change, sustainable development, and safely integrating AI, and a mission to Mars, and countless others, we're going to need innovators to solve these problems. So let's start by defining what an innovator is. When I say innovation, a lot of you are going to think about names like Steve Jobs or Bill Gates. And while those two certainly qualify as innovators, I'd say it's a much broader category. Innovation and innovators come with many characteristics, but here are a couple of them. Creativity, critical thinking, a research mindset, and problem identification and solving skills. It's the culmination of these traits that make innovators so effective. And there's a lot of overlap here, but you can see where these things come together to help innovators get things done. An innovator is going to identify a problem, then they're going to do their research and learn about it. They'll then come up with a creative solution, and after that, they'll implement, critique, and develop that. And it's through this process that innovators are going to solve those big problems that I mentioned earlier. The thing is, this process is applicable not just to big issues, but to any issue. And that means that we need innovators in all sorts of fields: law, government, medicine, finance, education, any field, because it's certain that we're all going to come across problems. And in that, having an innovative mindset can help us solve those problems. So now we know that we need innovators, but where are we going to get more of them? Now, I believe that innovators are made, not found. While it may be true that genius or talent can predispose you or make your path to becoming an innovator much easier, it's also true that all of those traits that we just discussed are inherently teachable and developable. So then the question becomes, how do we instill these traits in our youth? And there, the answer is, how do we instill any trait in our youth? We teach them. So if education is our key to building better innovators or building new innovators, how can we, what does that look like? And we already teach the scientific method. We already teach the engineering design process. Through math we can learn problem-solving skills, and through English we get analysis and critical thinking. But there's a missing link in all of that: creativity. So how can we bring all of these traits together and have students innovating creatively in the classroom? And the answer to that is project-based learning. Now, before we dive too deep into that, I'd like to tell you all a little bit about my story as an innovator. So many years ago, as an elementary schooler, I met my mentor, Mr. Smith. And he's a computer science and engineering teacher for high schools. And as his tutee, I learned a lot about engineering and conducted a lot of projects. That helped me become an innovator. When I made it to high school, I had the opportunity to participate in his manufacturing class. And his intro to manufacturing class is structured very uniquely. He's going to teach his students individual skills and then give them the opportunity to demonstrate them in whatever way they see fit. And that's what brings rise to the projects that you see here in the center picture. All of those different things are different innovative ways his students have decided they want to show their work, their knowledge, and their skills. It's this format that pushes kids to be innovative, be creative, and go out and show us what they know. Another way that I've had innovation in my journey has been through dedicated research classes. So in research, we're tasked to find a big problem, identify it, do deep research and find out why it's happening, what builds it up, and come up with a creative solution. After we design and develop that solution, we take it a step further and we communicate it through opportunities like science fair. You can see me at my science fair board last year, and some bits of my project, and an example from the international fair here. But there's also a more general, more traditional aspect here, which is through our science and math classes, which may have and often have lab activities, which are inquiry-driven and put knowledge and discovering knowledge in the hands of our students instead of just listening about it in lecturing. So what brings all these things together? And what's similar across all three of those different disciplines? The answer is that Inherently, each of those puts not just learning, but applying learning and applying knowledge in the hands of students. And it's through that that our students can learn, grow, and then show what they've learned and grow in new ways. So let's talk a little bit about implications of that. Now, we already know that having innovators is going to help us solve those big problems from earlier, but teaching innovation and promoting innovation in schools is also going to build skills in each individual that will make their lives easier. I know that for me, when I have a flat tire on the side of the interstate, I'm going to need and be very grateful for those problem-solving skills. Another benefit is in that research mindset. It's incredibly important to be able to digest information, to be a good citizen, and to engage well in civics. Finally, there's a big point in that innovators inspire future innovators. The different perspectives that we can all bring to the table are going to help grow our communities and inspire future innovators. Remember Mr. Smith? He's the product of an innovative learning environment just like this one. And now he's gone forth to build that environment in his own classroom. To end, I'll say that it's incredibly important that we support innovation and that we support future innovation through education. Thank you so much.